in his rage, in his anger, Hiranyakashipu struck that pillar. And he saw an amazing form emerging from that. At first he couldn't make out what it was. And then he saw that it was an unusual form. The head of a lion and the body of a man. And they fought. He tried to attack him. And the Lord also responded. And the fight continued for a long time. Actually, Nrsingadev didn't appear in the evening. Nrsingadev killed Hiranyakashipu in the evening. He actually appeared at midday. And they fought for a long time. Of course, we don't know whether this midday is according to the calculation of the demigods or anyway, we have to take it in the context of our time concept. Anyway, now Hiranyakashipu, after performing his austerity, he actually wanted to become immortal. That also takes us back to another situation. His brother Hiranyaksha was killed by Hari, appearing as a boar. And Hiranyakashipu knew that his brother was extremely powerful. He was as powerful as he was, maybe even more. Now Hari killed him. So in order to kill Hari, he had to become even more powerful. So that's why he went to perform austerities to acquire power. And actually he thought that by performing austerities he'll please Brahma and he'll get the benediction of becoming immortal. And if he became immortal, if nobody could kill him, then Hari also won't be able to kill him and he would be able to kill Hari. So he had a long, Brahma came and Brahma asked. Already he was just a skeleton, he didn't have anything. His body was not there. Brahma actually sprinkled some water from his water pot, chanting the mantra, and his body emerged. His body was rejuvenated. And so Brahma asked, what do you want? I want to become immortal. Brahma said, look, I can't give you that boon. Even I am not immortal. So how can I give you the boon of immortality? So then Hiranyakashipu thought that he would become immortal by some means. He won't give him directly, he won't give him immortality, but he would become immortal by some means. So he said, okay, give me the boon that no body, no man, animal, Rakshasa, demigod, he named everything, won't be able to kill me. Okay. Tathastu, let it be. No weapon would be able to kill. I won't be killed by any weapon. That also I can give you. Granted. I won't be killed during the day or night. Granted. I won't be killed on the space or land. Granted. I won't be killed inside the house or outside the house. So he thought that now he has become immortal, because no weapon can kill him, no living entity can kill him, as a human being or demigod or animal or rakshasa, and gave apsara, Gandharva, Kinnara, etc. He won't be killed during the day or night. He won't be killed inside the house, outside the house. No matter how smart one may be, but no one can outsmart the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Lord appeared in this way. No man will be able to kill him, no animal will be able to kill him. Neither a man nor an animal. He won't be killed during the day or night. He selected a time when it's neither day nor night. When the day is just about to turn into night, sandhi, sandha. He won't be killed inside the house or outside the house. He sat on the doorstep. And neither inside the house, outside the house. He won't be killed on the space or land, or placed him on his lap, which is neither the land nor space. He won't be killed by any weapon. He just used his nails. So this is how the Lord killed Hiranyakashipu. And that's why he came as Keshavadhrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hari. Now the question actually comes that how come Prahlad became such a devotee? Like little boy, obviously, his devotion is a very special gift to him. So that also is described in Hari Bhakti Vilas. In his previous life, Prahlad was a Brahmana boy, a person born in a Brahminical family. His father had 5 or 6 sons, I forgot. He was the youngest. So sometimes the youngest children get a lot of affection, and they tend to become spoilt. So this child became spoilt. He did not study, he did not pursue the Brahminical occupation, and he became a debauchee, became attracted to a prostitute. And like in a way we can see that he was a total waster. Now one day with that prostitute he went out for a picnic, outing. They found a ruin and they cleaned up that place and thought of having their picnic there. But in the meantime, they picked up a quarrel. And it took such a bad shape that both of them became so upset that they didn't eat anything. And they were so upset that they didn't sleep the whole night. They stayed up the whole night. Now, although this person was so degraded, so fallen, but actually that place, the ruin, was a temple of Nrsingadev. And that day happened to be the day of Nrsinga Chaturdasi, the day of the appearance of Lord Nrsingadev. Because they cleaned the temple of the Lord on that day, because they fasted that day, because they stayed up the whole night, that prostitute in the next life became a celestial damsel, Kinnari. No, I'm sorry, Apsara. She became an Apsara. And this Brahmana boy became Prahlad. See the benefit of observing Nrsinga Chaturdasi. Unconsciously, unknowingly, he did that. Cleaning the temple, fasting, staying up the whole night, gave him benefit, and as a result of that, in this life he became Prahlad Maharaj. And another question actually comes in this respect, that why in ISKCON, where we are actually devotees of Radha Krishna and Gaur Nitai, why do we have such special attachment for Lord Nrsingadev? There are so many different incarnations of the Lord. Even in Dasavata Stotram, there are other 9 different incarnations of the Lord. We don't worship them normally, not as a Meena avatar, not as Kurma avatar, not as Varaha avatar. And once in a, some temples we worship as Lord Ramchandra. But why Nrsingadev is worshipped in every single temple of ISKCON? After every single aratik, we chant the Nrsinga prayer. Why is that? That has been explained that Lord Nrsingadev actually success. To understand that, we have to consider Ganesh. Another name of Ganesh is Bigna, or Siddhidata Ganeshaya Namaha. Siddhi means success. So how does Ganesh give the success? Jat pada pallava jugang binidhaya kumbha dande pranama samaye sa ganadhi raja vignan bihantum alamasya jagatrayasya govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Vignan bihantum. Bihantum meaning destroys. Bigna, obstacles. So he destroys the obstacles. Bignan, bihantum, alamasya jagatrayasya, of 3 worlds. So Ganesh is giving success. That's why in India you see, especially business people, they worship Ganesh. And of course in Maharashtra, Ganesh is the main worshipable deity. So this is how, this is the reason why Ganesh is worshipped, and this is how Ganesh actually gives success by removing the impediments. How does Ganesh do that? In Brahma Samhita, what is saying? Jat pada pallava jugang binidhaya kumbha. Holding his lotus feet on the tumuli of his head, all these bumps in his head, he is acquiring that power. Now, who is that? Whose feet is holding on his feet, on his head? Nrsingadev. So material obstacles are removed by Ganesh, and spiritual obstacles are removed by Nrsingadev. And that is how one becomes successful in his spiritual life. That's why we are so fond of Nrsingadev. That's why we pray to Nrsingadev 3-4 times every day, after every aratik. Shri Shri Nrsinga Bhagavan ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nrsinga Chaturdasi ki Jai, Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Does anybody have any question?
So what is the Tumuli Maharaj in the translation it depends on the Tumuli, what does it mean?
You see, on the head of an elephant, there are two bumps. Those bumps are the tumuli.
Maharaj, the Prahlad Maharaj's previous lifetime, was it in this kalpa or was it in some previous kalpa? Because he was in Nasing Chaturdasi.
Yeah. The question actually can be put in the other way around, that how come there was a Nrsingadev temple? Right? That we have to understand was from the previous kalpa. And it doesn't matter whether in this kalpa or some other kalpa. Because, the time is moving, and this Nrsinga Chaturdasi is there. And it was in his previous birth. Now I don't know actually whether it was previous kalpa or in this kalpa. Like it could have been in this kalpa, but his previous birth, he was that Brahmana boy, and in this birth he became Prahlad. But it happened in Satyuga. Yes?
Why did the prostitute become an apsara?
Because she fasted on Nrsinga Chaturdasi.
Yeah, but
She also cleaned the temple,
yes.
right? And she also stayed up the whole night.
But why did she become an apsara and the Brahmin boy become Prahlad Maharaj?
Well, it was the Brahman boy's good fortune and that he received the mercy. Actually, both way. She also became Apsara, means a demigod. But Prahlad became a special devotee, and I'm sure as a demigoddess, as an Apsara, she also was a devotee of Nrsingadev.
I listened to Swami Maharaj's class, and he said that Haridas Thakur was Prahlad Maharaj, Lord Brahma, and a Brahmin boy, I forgot his name, but he was cursed by his father to become a Yavana. So they're these three combined together.
Yes. Yeah. Haridas Thakur is a combination of three personalities.
Why does Narasimha Bhagavan have to follow these rules? He is the supreme personality of Godhead. He could have killed Hiranyakashipu anywhere and anytime and any way he would have wanted. Why did he follow those? Is it just to respect his devotee Lord Brahma?
Well, ultimately it is, you see, it's all Lord's pastimes. Pastimes means he has to do something, right? And he does things to give pleasure to his devotees. So, and he likes to fight also. That is the reason. You know the anecdote of Jai and Vijay? Jai and Vijay were two gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. And Jai and Vijay were thinking that in Vaikuntha the Lord cannot experience the mellow of chivalry. You know, Vira Rasa, mellow of chivalry. That is derived out of fighting. Now in Vaikuntha, who will fight with the Lord? Right? Therefore, they were thinking that the Lord doesn't get this mellow, experience that mellow. We wish we could actually fulfill that desire of the Lord. Now in Vaikuntha, they couldn't fulfill that desire. Therefore, they had to come down to the earth planet to fulfill that desire of the Lord of fighting. And they gave a very good fight to him. And ultimately, of course, they had to accept defeat. So this Jai and Vijay became Ravan. First of all, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha in Satyayuga. Ravan and Kumbhakarna in Treta Yuga. Shishupal and Dantavakra in Dwapar Yuga. So just to fulfill the desire of fighting, give the desire of the Lord, fulfill the desire of the Lord that is derived out of fighting. Yes?
Maharaj, I heard that Narasimhadev, when you keep a deity form at home, there are different versions, like Ugra Roop. If you keep it, then you have to be very cautious and careful. Since people may not be aware about that, is that an offense, or can we worship any form if we just keep it because it shouldn't be?
The Lord form may be Ugra, but in front of devotee, the Lord is peaceful. The form may be angry, but when the Lord sees the devotion of the devotee, like in Mayapur, that form is Ugra. He's killing Ugra because he's killing Nishingadev. He's angry what Nishinga, Hiranyakashipu had done to Prahlad. That's why Nishingadev is Ugra. But not those who are worshipping him. He is Ugra. Rather, the devotees are remembering him. My Lord, he was so merciful. That in order to protect your devotee, you have assumed this form. You have displayed this mood of yours. Yes?
Well, you mentioned about Narasimhadev, one of the important avatars. One thing always confuses me is that the Lord is omnipotent, and all the avatars, at least the Vishnu Tattvas, we categorize them differently. But I always see the Lord is omnipotent, and all the Vishnu Tattvas will also be omnipotent in all respects. So is it that they just do not show all the things, and in each avatar based on the leela that they come for, or really some
different forms are manifested in order to display different purpose, different mood. Like as Nishingadev, as I said, he is removing the impediments from the path of devotion. At the same time as Dhanvantari, he is coming with the medicine. So those who want to sort of see him in that form, they are worshipping Dhanvantari. Right? So this is how the Lord is displaying his different forms are for the sake of different pastimes and different display of different attributes. Yes?
I'm not sure if this question was answered yesterday, but I heard that Lord Nrsimhadev appeared only for one muhurta, and we can see the form of the Lord in the spiritual world. There is no Nrsimhadev's form in the spiritual world. So somebody who has Nrsimhadev as their Ishta Devata, how will their mood be when they go to the spiritual world? Who will they worship? Which form of the Lord will they worship?
Well, I don't know. Where did you get that from?
I heard in a Sri Vaishnava lecture that you can see the form of Nrsimhadev in the spiritual world. In fact, Lakshmi Devi also could not see when the Lord appeared. So then she went and meditated, and then the Lord actually, even Nrsimhadev came in a deity form.
Well, actually, my understanding is that in Vaikuntha, all these forms are, the Lord is present in these different attributes. And the worshippers of those forms go to their respective planets in Vaikuntha. If I'm not mistaken, when the first canto of Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavatam, old Bhagavatam, there are pictures of different planets with the names of the different incarnations or different manifestations of the Lord. And if I'm not mistaken, there is Nrsimha Dev is also mentioned there. So my understanding is Vaikuntha, Nrsimha Dev is there in Vaikuntha also.
In Bhagavatam also, they are praying like Brahma, Shiva and all to please the Nrsimha. That means they are talking and singing.
And also, another point is, after killing Hiranyakashipu, Lord went back to Vaikuntha. And on the way he stopped in Mayapur. There is Nrsimha Kshetra. And Lord Nrsimha Dev stopped there for a while and the demigods worshipped him there. And thank you. Yes?
There is one more temple in AP called Simhachalam. It is the deity is always covered with chandan. Only on Akshay Tritiya we can see the Nijarupa.
Yeah, because he's so hot. To cool him down. Yes?
So, Maharaj, I was wondering, where do we stand? Because we are also worshipping, as Srila Prabhupada directed us to worship Radha Krishna, and we are also worshipping Nrsimha Dev. So, where will, if someone really follows, where will we
Yeah. You see, Lord Nrsimha Dev, we are worshipping him so that he makes our journey to Vrindavan without impediments. So, our destiny, our destination is not Vaikuntha, the planet where Nrsimha Dev is. Our destination is Golok Vrindavan or Navadvip. So, he is removing. And like he does that, you can see as you make your spiritual progress, you see that how all these impediments, all these obstacles, all these difficulties are just disappearing, sometimes I give an example that when these difficulties come, they appear to be like a stumbling block. But eventually they become stepping stones. Stepping stones towards our progress. Yes?
That Jay and Vijaya tried to satisfy the Lord's want for fighting. And does that mean that Jay and Vijaya purposefully offended the four Kumaras in order to do that?
No, you see, like this is how the arrangements are made. They desired, and it's something like, Jogamaya said, okay, so you desired that, okay, now the scene is set. Like these things will happen, so that will become the outcome. Right? Therefore, sometimes it's described that the Lord's pastimes are like a drama. Like in a drama, like all the scenes are arranged in order to present certain idea. And in principle, a good drama must have two things. A good drama must have two things, two qualities. Entertainment and education. So, Lord's pastimes are the best drama. Entertainment comes out of excitement, right? When you watch this drama, you see the excitement, the conflict between the villain and the hero. The Lord is the hero and demons are the villains. And sometimes it appears that, you feel like your blood is boiling, seeing the activity of the villain. Right? So, doesn't that happen when you see the pastimes of the Lord? So this is how, entertaining, and the Lord is giving His association to His devotees. And education, what you are learning, go against the Lord, you are doomed. Follow the Lord, your life will become glorious. The choice is yours. Now which one will you follow? After watching the drama properly, you get the message. Yes?
So I have 2-3 questions. Follow-up question. These are simple ones. As you said that because they had, Jay and Vijay had that idea, and Yoga said, go, the same is said. So that means as people progress in spirituality, should they consciously try to stop bad thoughts, or is it taken care of by the japa and then don't worry about this thing? That's an easy answer.
No, our endeavor has to be there. There are two things functioning. One thing is our effort, and the other thing is Lord's mercy. Both are there. These both the things has to be there. Our effort has to be there. If there is no effort, then the Lord will say, okay, goodbye, take your time. But if the effort is there, then the Lord will say, He is endeavoring so sincerely. Let me bestow my mercy upon him. Let me engage him so nicely. Okay.
Second question that I had was with respect to Hiranyakashipu. So actually, ЛИКЕ was showing today that in Bhagavatam it is written, the blessed Hiranyakashipu. And we're talking about, we are arguing saying, is he supposed to be blessed or not? Well, he definitely has a very special prominent in Bhagavatam. What I'm surprised about is he went through such severe austerities. And then we know so many, at least Mayavadi Mahatmas in the last 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 years, who actually know a lot of good tricks and they have significant amount of knowledge just with their level of austerity. And Hiranyakashipu definitely, austerity-wise, he was like cut above. It's a good level. I'm surprised he didn't catch the essence. Which is, all of these Mahatmas that I'm talking about can come out of their body and they understand various koshas and things like that. And when they reach beyond the Umbud Bhuvasvara state and go to Jan Tap Mahalok, they are probably in the casual body. So they're beyond the senses and they're probably stuck in the mind-body intelligence level. So So I'm surprised Hiranyakashipu got so prominence, but it doesn't look like to be that great a yogi. I mean, in yogi-wise, I wouldn't rank him on a scale of 10 that high. So
you know what it proves?
sure.
That don't give much credibility to these yogis. And you know, they may have so much power. What's the use? Like you can, as you were saying, I mean, Hiranyakashipu is far greater than them. Now you are addressing them as Mahatma. Do you address Hiranyakashipu as Mahatma? Then do you think they fall in the category of Mahatma? So who is a Mahatma? Mahatmanastu mang partha daiving prakritim ashrita. Oh, it's only the devotees who are real Mahatmas. Not those magicians and, you know, right, gymnasts. Yeah. Are you okay?
Maharaj, yesterday you were mentioning in the temple about the Navdeep portion of Vrindavan. So I was wondering about the scripture reference for that.
Huh?
I was wondering about the scriptural reference.
There are many scriptural references. There is clear statement is in Navadvip Mahatmya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that who sees any difference between Vrindavan and Navadvip? He used a very heavy statement. He is in a hellish condition of life. And you see, the thing is that we have to recognize what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving, what the Goswamis have given. Because that understanding of Navadvip was not revealed before. Even Vrindavan was not properly revealed before. It is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who came and gave the understanding. Otherwise, people thought Vrindavan is just a place of Lord's pastime in this planet. But through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and through the Goswamis, we understood that the Vrindavan is the topmost region of the spiritual sky. Way beyond Vaikuntha, way beyond Ayodhya, way beyond Dwarka. Right? You see, our source of information is our scriptures. Yes?
In yesterday's class you were mentioning about Krishna and Mahaprabhu comes in one day of Brahma, only once in one day. So Krishna is very merciful and he is eagerly waiting for us to come back to the spiritual world. I mean, we are very grateful to be here at this time, but why doesn't Krishna and Mahaprabhu come more often?
Because the gate of Vrindavan doesn't open all the time. It opens only at a specific time. And as you said, Krishna is so merciful that he wants everybody to come back. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is even more merciful. Even if somebody doesn't want to go back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pushing them. Through that gate. Yes, Mataji?
Thank you so much for the wonderful lecture. Assuming gas and my understanding Prahlad Maharaja and can be fit with us. Thank you so much for that. I have a question from your lecture yesterday where you were mentioning about salt being a very good conveyor of karma, and both good and bad. So here in USA, especially the ladies who are working, we rely a lot on processed food and some items and things like that.
What did you rely on?
Processed food, like cut vegetables, chopped carrots, grated carrots, and things like that, which would carry some karma, right? Because they're there. So my approach is always to try to avoid that and plan it out and do food processors and motivate and things like that. But sometimes we go to assemblies where such food is offered to Krishna and then they are serving it out to the devotees. So sometimes I think that it's an insult, like if Krishna could eat you, why can I not? So what should we do in such a situation?
I could get the question properly. Maybe you can.
Basically, salt, as you mentioned in the last class.
Oh, okay,
the
okay.
carrier of the karma.
Yeah.
And what she's saying that there are different foods, like processed food and all we offer, and we eat that also, and we also offer to Krishna. So what is our situation to understand and make an adjustment so that we do not incur more karma based on this?
Okay, thank you. That's why I offer it to Krishna. Prabhupada is saying that no matter how purely we process the food, how purely we collect the food and so forth, certain amount of karma will always be there, certain amount of sinful reactions will always be there. Like, for example, when we are collecting the vegetables, we are stepping onto so many living entities and they are dying. When you are cooking the food, so many creatures are dying. So, certain amount of karma, certain amount of sinful reactions are already there. But when you offer to Krishna, and when Krishna accepts it, then all the karma is also accepted by Krishna. And when it comes back as His mercy, it is sanctified. It is not only free from karma, it can burn out our previous karma as well. So that is why it's so important to offer it to Krishna. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much for a wonderful lecture yesterday and today. We are really fortunate to have your association.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My question is an extension to what Mataji has asked. There are some discussions within the ISKCON group that we need to have only ahimsa milk. And some say that we can take organic milk and we can use that. And even for the ghee, ahimsa ghee versus the ghee that is sold from normal enterprise shops. So what is the right way? And we all offer to Krishna from both the foods. But what is the right way to accept food?
Yeah, like, cow protection is one of our main business. But even more important business is actually to spread Krishna consciousness. Therefore, when Prabhupada came, he did not really put so much emphasis on, the cow protection aspect. His thing was to preach, because when Krishna consciousness is properly established, then the cow protection will automatically happen. So, yes, at some point in time, we have to take up these aspects. And you'll be happy to know that we are trying to do that now from the GBC side. We are seriously considering how to provide, the ahimsa milk product. It's already happening. Gita Nagari is already providing the milk, and the support is there. But it needs much bigger arrangement. But at least, somewhere we have to start it. And so now we are planning how to expand it, how to make it happen. May not be tomorrow, but maybe, a few years down the line, probably we will be able to. And I'll tell you, certain ways that we are thinking of. Say one thing, we started in around Ujjain. Ujjain is where I develop some projects, and there are some villages we are getting some response. The villages are favorable, and some of them even took initiation. And so what we are doing there in a small way, like we are those who are taking to Krishna consciousness or, accepting the principle of Krishna consciousness, we are giving them the cows. And we give them the cow, they take care of the cow, and we buy the milk. So that, they get some benefit. And the understanding is when these cows become dry, they will give the cows back to us. We don't want to take any chance, because who knows that they may be tempted to sell, Or maybe the father is, favorable, but the son may not. So the son may actually sell the cows to the slaughterhouses. So we started in a small way. And the idea is we are buying the milk at certain price, we are selling the milk at a certain price, and the part of the margin is going to an account that will take care of the cows in future. Okay, so the next step, we are arranging a goshala where there is plenty of land where the cows can graze. You see, milking cows need a lot of care. And when you go into that, we don't really have enough manpower to have our own goshala where, hundreds of cows can be taken care of by them. But, in the villages we can actually get, say, 20 families taking care of 100 cows. And then, that land will be enough so that the half the land can be for grazing and half the land can be growing fodder for the cows. So that way the non-milking cows, they just need some place to graze and, fodder and medical care. So that we are going to take care. Okay, now this is what, we started in India. And now I was discussing with one of my GBC godbrothers, and he told me that, you see, he's from Ireland, and they have been taking milk from one farmer for last 20 years. So he was talking to the farmer and telling him that, how the cows, are benefiting so much, and the farmer agreed fully. He even, at some point he even started to cry that, they have to send the cows to the slaughterhouse. But he was telling that he can't help it, because for generations they're doing that. And, it's not virtually possible to kind of, keep the non-milking cows. So from that, I just put these two concepts together, and I just considered, what if we get a large piece of land, say somewhere where the weather is good and the land is cheap. Say, for example, south of Spain, or maybe south of Italy, where the weather is good throughout. That's not the case with, northern part of Europe, where the weather is very severe, and that becomes the major problem. The cows cannot graze, for say 4 to 6 months. The cows have to be in the barn and they have to be fed with, fodder. But if we have that, we can, dry cows, we can just shift to those places, and there we don't really, and from selling the milk, and the condition we'll have with those people, that we'll give you the cows will be marked, and their milk we will take, right? And when they become dry, you give them back to us. We'll have an agreement, the cows will be stamped. And the same thing we can do in America also. Like, Texas, Florida, like those places, that we can acquire some large farms. And that's another thing, many farms are going quite cheap. Because, the farmers, the second generations, they are not into farming. So anyway, this is how we are actually thinking of, developing. Maybe slowly it will happen. And anyway, so soon we'll start also, like with milk products marketing. Like milk probably we cannot ship from India. But ghee, powdered milk, and all these things can be shipped. And probably we can generate our own, ghee and bottle them. And the thing is, I noticed that like here also I heard, like in a shop you get the milk for $5 a gallon, and you're paying $17-18 a gallon, So, like when they get behind certain principles, certain ideology, the support will come. And now, ISKCON has a large congregation where the support will come. And the point actually is to have sufficient fund to take care of the dry cows. Like that is what we have to do. But at the same time, we have to do it in an intelligent way. Because, if maintaining the dry cows become too expensive, then it will not happen. And also along with that, somebody was telling me the other day, where was that? Oh yeah, one of my godbrothers in Seattle. Like he was telling me that the cow products, if they are properly, like the products from cow's urine, products from cow dung, and etc., that can generate funds also. And he was actually telling the cow products can be more expensive than cow's milk. They can earn more. Anyway, this is how we have to consider, like, and the good thing is, we have a ministry in GBC, the Ministry of Cow Protection and Agriculture. And this year, one devotee who has been appointed as a minister, he's from Brazil, very, very sincere and very enthusiastic person. So, he is heading the ministry and we are trying to give him all the ideas and all the support. And with that support, we are trying to create that, But right now, we just don't want to jump into a thing like, if we make a thing that, no ahimsa, no himsa milk, then the consideration comes that, like, what about children? They need milk. What about the places where these milks are not available? Like Jayapataka Maharaj made that question actually in one of our discussions, that, his physical condition now needs milk. He needs to drink milk, certain amount of milk every day. And, like, what if he can't get ahimsa milk? Maybe when he is near Gitanagari or east coast of America, he can get it. But that's not possible to get everywhere else. And it's not possible to carry all the milk all the time. So Prabhupada used to be practical. As I said, like, Prabhupada considered that first thing is to establish Krishna consciousness. Then we can think of these things. And now we feel that the time has come that we have to actually get into all these aspects of, Krishna consciousness. Yes, we have to protect our cows. And it's, the vegans are there. They have taken up the cause. Like today we went for a walk, morning walk, and we saw one write-up on the road itself. It says, we are vegans. Vegans don't eat animals. So they are taking up the cause, so, we have to also, take it up at some point, because, our purpose is far greater than theirs. They're simply considering, the sympathy and compassion for animals. But our thing is a spiritual consideration. Cow is the mother.
Thank you so much for it.
Hare Krishna.
The way you explain, elaborate what you are doing behind the scenes and how we should get there, and in the process, how we should follow it.
Yeah, and we need your support. We need all of you. It will be a support give and take, not just, we give you something and you give us something in return. And as a result of that, we'll be able to make it happen.
So, I know Maharaj is very early morning flight tomorrow, and we have also one more things to celebrate Achyut Prabhu's birthday cake.
Oh, yeah.
Maharaj promised to do the cake cutting. Yeah?
Hare Krishna.
So yeah, I don't know whether Maharaj...
Yeah, here's a question. Let me see.
Okay.
Thank you very much for blessing us. I was waiting from last 6 years of I was here. One question I had, sometimes we are all working here and we don't have a more major time goes in working, maybe 8 to 9 hours, then sometimes remain. So then we have what should be the priority, service or sadhana, especially reading Bhagavatam? So it's always dilemma in the mind, which is the best thing to do, and can you please share some of the...
Well, yeah. Actually service comes first. That's how Prabhupada presented. Really weavers. So Prabhupada decided that let them weave, devotee for the provide for the devotees clothes and things. So Prabhupada was walking and he asked, why the weavers are not weaving? Then Jayapataka Maharaj told Prabhupada, they're in the temple chanting. Prabhupada said, they don't need to chant. Let them weave. And he said, when they say cut, 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 that weaving thing goes, he said that they can, at that time, they say, Hare Krishna. And of all the services, I think the most important service is to chant the holy name of the Lord. So, never neglect your chanting. And then, yes, say if you want to have some programs at home and all, do it, but not at the cost of chanting. Because that is the most important business we have. Also, another example, in Vrindavan, the temple was being built at that time. And somebody complained that the devotee who was actually managing the project, he was not chanting. Then Prabhupada called him and he said, Prabhupada, I'm so busy from morning till night, I don't have any time to chant. Then Prabhupada said, okay, you don't have to chant. So, that's how broad-minded Srila Prabhupada was. That the thing is, due to his busy schedule, he may not be able to chant now, but he will continue to chant when the time comes. So anyway, these are some examples that we can consider, but that doesn't mean that we should take advantage of those instructions of Srila Prabhupada.
Particularly reading Bhagavatam, how much important is this in our life?
Oh yeah, that's very, very important. Reading Prabhupada's books is very important. Also distributing Prabhupada's books, which is preaching, is very important. So we should not neglect at any cost.